Tell me which replay did you want to take a look at first?
Twitch.
All right, cool. And anything you'd like to mention? Something you want to like focus on while we go through this? Anything at all?
Hold on, you're kind of loud. Let me turn you down.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh, okay, I haven't used Skype in a long time. Okay.
Testing 1 2 3.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Nice. So to go by my original question, is there anything you think you like need to work on, or something you want me to take a look at specifically, or are you just gonna go through the whole thing? And I'll just point out what I think is important.
Okay, so this game, my team fell behind, but I was getting kills and stuff, getting ahead, but I wasn't able to transition that into a win or get objectives.
And so you're wondering, if your team's behind and you're ahead, how can I win the game for my team, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
How can I convert my winnings into something that will actually let me kill the enemy nexus?
Yeah.
So let's see what's going on here. So you got some spicy Maokai laning. Wait, what rank is this, by the way?
Gold.
Okay, okay. Good to know. Good to know. First thing to note is that uh, 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 have you seen my other coaching videos by any chance?
Yeah, I have. I
Okay,
watched like all of
so
them.
okay, then my whole like philosophy on the three most important things in laning is gonna be your HP, your CS, and the wave management, right? So
Yeah.
HP is the most important, then CS yada yada, right? So here, you should not let her hit you for free, right? Because Sona's like Q damage level 1 is like really annoying, right? It's like really strong. Her Q auto attack is very strong. The fact that she didn't auto you means like she kind of misplayed, but that was like free damage that you didn't have to take, right? So first thing is always watch out for that, especially when you're doing some kind of range versus melee matchup, right? This dude he started Q, he's useless. What can he do, right? So you have to pretend this is like 1v2 until he gets levels, right? Probably like level 2 or something. I don't know. So it's just like something you might already know, but stay away like this, right? This is gonna keep happening, right? So instead of like going for the last hit, what you can do is you can trade with her if you think you can get a good enough trade. Probably not in this case, or you just can't go for it, right? Unless you think it's like worth getting hit by Sona Q auto, which is probably not, at least not yet, right? Not worth. So anyways, let's skip past this. I think it's gonna be more of the same story. You're gonna let him push you in because you don't have a support. So I don't really know. I don't really know what to say here. It's kind of interesting, right? Let's see. Okay, what's going on here? This is not gonna go well because they have like 1,000 minions. So you're just gonna take 1,000,000 damage and nothing's gonna happen. Yep. Okay. Well, that's super awkward. You did the best you could. There's nothing else you could do there. Your Makai is just killing himself. Holy shit. You want me to like fast forward past to like a relevant part? Because this is kind of not normal. You know what I'm saying? Hello? Are you there? Can you hear me? I can't hear you if you're talking. Yeah, your mic's not working. Have you Skype says it's picking up my mic. What the? I don't think it's a problem with my sound. What we could always do is you could just like call on Discord. You want to try that? We could call each other in Discord and then just Skype screen share. Yeah, here we go. interesting problem to have, but okay. Hello?
Oh, can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Do you need me to, I'm just gonna mute on Skype just in case. Okay, so we're back. Anyways, let's
Hello.
rewind it to like whatever this is. Yeah. What's up? Can you hear me?
Is
Hello?
anybody there?
Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
I don't hear anything.
What?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. How about this? I'll talk through Skype and you'll talk through Discord. What
Okay.
the hell is
This
going
is
on?
so weird.
All right, this is I don't know, dude. I've never had this problem before. We're just gonna we're just gonna wing it.
Okay.
All right, so that's really funny. Anyways, so in this, when you have some kind of did you answer my previous question? That was like, I don't know, like, do you want me to skip to a certain part? Because this is like,
Oh, yeah,
I
I
don't know what
did.
this is.
I
I don't
said
know what
you
this shit
can.
is. Okay, yeah. Let's fast forward. Like, okay, tell me, what can you do in this lane? Like theoretically
Um,
speaking.
I can't think of anything
Right. Okay, so you can't trade, right? Why do I say that?
because Malachi can't do anything. He has to go all in.
Yeah. If you trade, you get out sustained, right? And you don't have enough damage to go all in, right? So you need like a jungle near you. If you don't have a jungle near you, you just like try and farm or some shit. I don't know. So we can just like skip past this. I don't know what's going on. But at what point do you think things start getting not landing phase? Okay, something happened here for you guys to do dragon. Okay, so a gank happened, and that's how you guys kill them, I think.
Mhm.
Nice. So you guys do dragon, right? And you back. Good. Right? Now you're in a position to maybe kill them. I say maybe because, depends on how good Maokai does, and if Sona lands her ult, you can't win this 100%, right? So you're gonna die here if you're not careful. You're probably yeah, you're dead. Okay, so let's back it up. So how do I know you're dead right off the bat?
I get condemned into the wall.
Yeah. But the most important thing is before any fighting happens, you lose. Why? There are two
I got
main
caught
reasons.
out?
No. There are two main reasons, right? Even if you didn't get cut out, it's still a lost fight, right? Even if Vayne is sitting next to Sona, you still lose, right?
Oh, they have numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Numbers advantage is one of the big ones. The second big one is you have no way to stop Sona ult, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't have
you
flash
can,
up.
yeah, you can't commit to a fight. You can only take like a small to medium trade, and then if she wastes her ult, that's good. But you can't like commit because you're just gonna get hit and you're gonna die, right? So, if you have no way to counter their like kill move, right, then you can't fight, right? And then like you said, you have no numbers advantage because Cho'Gath is doing red or some shit. I don't know, but it was literally impossible, right? There's nothing you could do,
Mhm.
because Sona has ultimate. So, whenever you're fighting and you consider, if they hit me with this, I die. So how do I stop that? If you can't figure out a way to stop it, you shouldn't fight, right? So that's just like a general thing. I don't know if it happens multiple times, but that's just like something that's good to point out for sure, right? This is just like kind of fighting. If the side that lands more stuff wins, right? So they had Sona ultimate. You can't dodge it. You're gonna lose. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so this is good that you're going to go help, right? You don't fight that Sona. Maokai dies, but he got some cooldowns, right? So this is winnable, right? 2v3. You guys are gonna get at least maybe. Okay, you're gonna get this guy. That's fine. You're gonna have to run though. Okay, good. If you get out of here, you saved it enough, right? That's good. Okay, this guy is trying to kill himself. What the hell? Oh no, you still have to run. Okay, that's fine. This is all good. That was good. You went to Rome. That's good. You came to help the fight, which is what you're supposed to do. And then your team played it really bad, so you guys couldn't win. That's fine, right? You salvaged as much of the situation as you could. Here, you're just trying to... you can't push it in immediately, so you wait, right? Wait a wave.
Yeah.
You still have
I
no
didn't see
answer to
Talon.
Sona ult. So what's one way... Okay, so... You know how I say, you have no answer to Sona because you can't dodge it. So does that mean you can never fight?
No.
Okay, so in what circumstances can you kind of bait her to use it and then you still live?
QSS.
Okay, so, what about like right now? Like you don't have QSS right now.
If I'm getting a gank.
Right. If you have like a man advantage, or maybe if you're playing so far back that if you get hit by it, Maokai can save you, right? He just W's Vayne and then Sona wasted all, right? So so they obviously know the gank is coming. You guys should probably not execute on this. Okay, they're gonna get the Sona maybe. Oh wow, okay, you gotta flash somehow, but everyone's gonna die. Okay, yeah. How do we know everyone's gonna die?
Because they're all caught out.
Yeah, they tried to what's it called? Okay, so they chased when the enemy knew that the gank was coming, right? This is actually working out pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Okay. Whew. Interesting. I don't see anything that you should have done differently though. So this is all good. Like so far, the big thing was like trying to fight Sona when she had her ultimate and you couldn't like do anything about it, right? So everything else so far that I've seen is pretty good. You can maybe fight this, right? Okay. Hold on, let's watch what's going on here. What's wrong with fighting this?
Maokai's caught out. And Zerg's
Well,
low.
this guy's like 3 hits from death and your team is backing you up, right? If they use cooldowns on your team, it's possible to win. This is like a 4v3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5v3. I mean, honestly, this is like fine that you don't fight this, but because like if your team wanted to fight it, you should join, but they just like ran away or whatever. I was just in my to me it looked like they could have just like hit them. What's going on here? You're trying to help this fight for the dragon, right? Okay, interesting. He's dead. You can't help him. That's fine. You end up backing. You're going for the Blade the Drinking build. You have to wait because you have no Maokai. Okay, you could get Dove here. This is kind of awkward. Okay, so how do we know that you could get Dove? Yo, can you hear me? Is your mic working? I can't hear you, by the way. Hello? Testing? 1, 2, 3. What is going on? Yeah, it's like the same thing happened with Skype. Remake the call again. Okay, hold up. Let's remake the call. On Discord at least. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Okay, this is weird, but interesting issues we're having here. Do you have any idea what's going on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, like I couldn't hear you before. I had to like rejoin the call or something. Some random technical difficulties. Anyways, this is kind of risky, right? Because they can just dive you, right? Wouldn't you say? Like here, like you should be dead, right? Or you should lose your flash for no reason. So what was the mistake here, do you think?
I overextended.
Right. Oh, how do you know that though?
Because someone could be roaming over and the turret's almost down.
Right. This is just like you can't actually defend it, and then you don't have enough people to be here, right? Your team's like on the way, but they're not. You die too fast for them, in relation to where they are, right? They're too far away to help, right? So, honestly, you should be dead here. That Sona ult should lead to a Vayne condemn. I don't know. She like kind of messed it up, but turns out that the result was good. But you should know that if you do not have enough people to like come help fight, you can't fight, right? You shouldn't look to fight, right? Okay, so one of the things that indicate you want to fight is doing an objective, right? So if you're hitting the enemy tower, it means you want to fight, right? Because you're inviting the enemy to engage on you. And the second is defending an objective, right? So back at that dragon play, when your team wanted to defend the dragon, it means you want to fight, right? You want to hit them so they stop doing the objective. So down there, you're defending the tower. So that means that you wanted to take that fight, but it was 1v2 because your team's not close enough to help you, and they were gonna kill you really fast. So it's 1v2, right? The situation could devolve into like 4v5, 4v4 or whatever, but you were gonna die for free basically. So it would have been like 3v4. So situation was not good. So anytime you're trying to look to defend or an attack an objective, you need to have at least even numbers advantage, right? Or if you don't have even numbers advantage, you're preparing to run away, right? So there, it could have been okay if your plan was to bait them into chasing you after taking the tower, right? Just know that anytime you're like doing anything objective related, you're trying to fight the enemy team. Wow, she one-shot you. Hold up. Okay. Kind of went on a tangent here. So fight breaks out. Someone dies. I can't tell if they die for free. But the enemy has 2 people mid, so you should be able to win this. Cho'Gath's taking the wrong path. You got 1 shot. Wow, that was disgusting. Are you running magic resist runes?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I didn't expect it either.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this again. Like, what is going on? So Talon took out like 20%, right? 25%, but still, like, what the hell? QW auto or some shit? What the fuck? Dude, I don't even know. Okay, I think it's fine because you got the kill, right? The reason why we say it's good is because you're scaling champion. Honestly, I don't think it was too bad. You don't have to worry about something like that. You came to help, which is the important part, right? And that's good. So, okay, what's going on here? Okay, you're just dying to like. Okay, so tell me, when can you? What is the idea behind pushing mid, or farming? We should say, I guess.
Get items.
Okay. When is it safe to do so? Right? Like, is this like, how do we describe this? Okay, so this is the concept known as lane priority, right? Have you heard of that?
A few times.
So lane priority basically means, do you know what lane priority is, or should I like reiterate just in case?
Is that like when the wave's pushing towards the enemy?
Okay, so lane priority is kind of, right? It means that you have control over the lane, right? And what I mean by control is you're able to push it and they can't stop you. Because if they try and stop you, you win the fight, right? So you're saying, you're sitting out here saying, I want to fight, right? Basically is, I have control over this lane, so I can push it. That's what lane priority is, right? So say you're playing Kalista Alistar, and you're just pushing this really quick against like a Vayne Blitz, right? Vayne Blitz can't do anything against Kalista Alistar, right? Because they try and go on them, you just get CC'd to death, right? So Kalista Alistar has lane priority, right? For the mid game at least. Maybe in the late game, Vayne can one shot Kalista, so that's no longer true. But in relation to like how strong the champions are, one side has lane priority over the other, right? So in this case, lane priority, you can figure out whether or not you have control over the lane. First thing is always going to be the same thing. How many people do you have to help defend, right? Because even if one side is stronger 2v2, if the enemy jungler is nearby, for example, they can turn a fight, right? So say if your whole team was hiding over here with a pink ward and Talon tried to do that, he died, right? But in this case, you can't go for like lane control unless you know where the enemy is, or you're prepared to fight all the people that are missing, right? So here we see Vayne and Sona on the map, right? So you're good to go. Except that there are 3 people missing, right? So who are those 3? It's what is it? Talon. Do you know? It's like
Elise.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. The Elise that one shot earlier, right? Talon, Elise, and the enemy top laner, right? So say for example, Elise was running around the corner over here, right? Do you have any options?
No.
It's like you have to press Q and like hope she doesn't have flash or something, right? And then maybe Maokai can block for you, right? Okay, so if it's like just Elise missing, you're moderate danger. You don't really know. But what about Elise and the top laner? Okay, now you're starting to get spicy because there's flash on you and you die. And then you throw in Talon on top of that, and it's like you can't be pushing until you see them, right? Like for example, a lot of people will ask, how many times have you heard people ask, how do I play against Rengar? How do I play against Zed? How do I play against all these assassins, right? The answer is always the same. You play like they're coming for you, unless you can see them, right? So say the enemy has a fiddlesticks. Can you push this? Hold on, I'm gonna rejoin the call because I think I can't hear you again. Say something real quick. Testing. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but anyways, to the original question. Say the enemy has a fiddlesticks, right? And you don't know where he is. Can you push this right here?
No.
Right, and why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because he could ult flash over the wall.
Exactly. Okay, same thing with Talon. enemy has a talent. Can you push like this? And then it's like kind of an unfair question because we already saw what happened, but it's like you can't, right? So the way you play against like these kind of assassin champions or like vision related champions, right? Twitch is vision related champion, right? If you don't see Twitch, you have to assume he's on top of you. Same as Eve and Shaco and whatever. If you can't see them, you have to assume they're like literally coming for you the instant you show up on the map, right? So like right here, they start running at you from wherever they are. That's what you have to assume. So killing these 6 minions takes a long time. If I were you, I would expect them to be coming for me, right? So now, how do you prevent something like this from happening besides being able to see them?
Just stay back.
Right. Okay. So you can sit at the tower, right? Because that's safe. And the other way to do it is if your team is like close by to help in time, right? Like I was giving like the example, everyone's sitting here with the pink ward and they can stop him, right? Say for example, he tried to do that shit and then Maokai flash W'd him and then, oh, can't move. You guys kill him. So that'd be one, but you need to have an answer to it, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So I think so far, the majority of our problems have been kind of vision related. Maybe not vision related, more like map awareness kind of things, right? Because the only times you've like really gotten punished, from what I've seen, besides that one random at least one shot, was you're staying too long bot when you didn't have enough people to defend, or you're like out trying to get control mid when you don't know where the enemy is, right? So this is the same. Oh yeah, here we go. Another example. This guy, same thing, right? He did get the kill on Talon, but he had no answer to this rumble coming in from the realm, right? The enemy top laner, coming out of vision, exactly what I mentioned earlier. So you also have a Heimerdinger in this game, so this is kind of awkward. So this is like kind of near the point where you were mentioning how you had a bunch of kills and you want to know how to convert it into like something more, right?
Yeah.
So this is exactly how you do it. You come help the fight. You get this kill, right? Okay. I'm not sure if you had to heal for that though. Did you?
I don't think I did. I just panicked.
Usually it's like, okay, in this game it could be a problem, but yeah, so this is exactly what you do. You come help your team, right? This is good. Okay, what do you do from here on out? Because it looks like you didn't know what to do once you got this kill. Stop. Now what?
I don't know. Maybe
okay,
go top.
We can try and figure something out here. Okay, so if the enemy sits at their towers, right? What do you do?
Try to engage or poke them out.
Well, okay, so they're playing like super safe, so you can't go for ganks or anything like that. How do you like generate an advantage that way?
I guess you go to a side lane.
Maybe I'm asking like a weird question. Okay, so when the enemy is playing safe, right? So say the enemy knows they have a numbers disadvantage and they refuse to fight you no matter what you do. So if you try and stealth in and you try and go for assassination plays, it won't work, right? So what do you do then, right?
I guess you could try to gain vision.
Right? Okay, that's good, because if they sit at their towers and they don't do anything, and you set up vision control over Baron or Dragon or something, you're gonna get it for free, or they're gonna have to face check to fight you for it, right? So that is good. So how do you get vision? How do you get vision in League?
Wards.
Right, but when are you allowed to ward, right? If they say, for example, they stack 5 waves mid and they push it in, can you go ward while that wave's crashing into your tower?
No. Oh,
yeah.
Priority.
So, exactly, right? So lane priority. So once you've gained an advantage, you should know that you're able to, and Talon and Elise are dead because we see that in the feed. The instant you see this guy die and Rumble's running away, you have time to get lane priority, like push, right? Go ward, set up traps. You can clear sideways, right? You can kill Scuttle Crab. Any of these Scuttle Crabs are very good. This probably the Baron one is really good. But those are all things you can do. So the first step is like once you gain an advantage, right? This is the advantage. You killed the enemy jungler, and Talon's dead or whatever, and you pushed out Rumble. That's an advantage, right? Because now they have to base, and then come back before fighting. What can you get after that? So you can get vision, you can push out waves, you can take camps, you can set up vision around the next objective, right? So in this case, you always need to try and plan out what you want next, right? Because it looks like you don't know what you want to do here. But you end up pushing
Yeah, I had
mid,
no idea.
right? So one thing you could do if you're being the greedy player, which is not necessarily a bad thing, you can just go bot, clear bot, push out another wave, and come back mid. Be ready for this dragon fight. Maybe you say you don't want to go bot because you would give up, Baron side pressure. You could push mid out. Well, there's no wave mid, so you go top and you push that out, right? You can also get scuttle crabs, check camps, etc., etc. So here, pushing mid is not a bad choice, but you need to know what your options are, so you can like figure out what you need to do. This guy, I think you can just hit this guy, right? Oh wait, what's going on? Oh, okay. I guess the team is looking to. Okay, they took a bad 3v3, right? So it's really hard to help them. But how early did they do this? Right, so what are they trying to do? They're trying to get vision control. What's the problem here? Heimerdinger's like top or some shit. I don't know. But it looks like they just lose immediately. You're like looking to help. You can't really help this. So if your team throws an advantage, what do you do?
Try to salvage the situation.
Right. So how do you do that?
I don't know.
So the first step is don't give them any more, which is what the Xerath is doing, right? He's playing some kind of risky. He's gonna die. He's making the situation worse, right? So that's the first step. This is also the same thing. You're making the situation worse by trying to fight, because if they like responded properly, they would come for you, and you have no flash. But the first thing you do is don't fight unless you can blow someone up, right? Don't fight unless you can one-shot someone, and defend the towers unless it's not safe, right? So here, clear the waves, right? If they have no minions, they can't push, right? They can't push their advantage, right? So one thing you can get after getting an advantage, like they killed your team, Vayne and Sunna were trying to get bot tower, right? So if you could somehow manage to clear the bot wave, that would be like salvaging the situation, kind of, stalling it out until your team's alive. So don't do what the Xerath is doing, right? And then be very careful about taking fights like that unless you know for sure it's good, right? Because
should I just stay at the turret right there and let him die?
He's dead no matter what you do, right? He's 100% dead no matter what you do. Maybe if you saw Sona use ult in that fight, you could go bot and use your ultimate to clear the wave, right? For example, so you could limit the damage that your team has done, stuff like that. But these this is like impossible, right? How many people are at this fight?
Just me and Xerath.
And then how many people do they have?
They could have potentially 4.
Yeah. Or maybe even 4, because Elise died, right? So it's 2v4. Unless the Xerath one-shots this guy, it's not gonna work. So he didn't one-shot him. That's how you know it's not gonna work, right? And then unless you can one-shot someone, you don't do this. So it's just not possible. So look to like do damage control instead of like trying to fight these guys, right? Maybe you can push mid while this shit is going down. I don't know. Your team is pretty tilted though. That's kind of awkward. But yeah. So here, what's the plan here? Back to square one. Everyone's alive.
I don't know. Just clear some waves.
Yeah. Basically, if they have priority, like try and find an opportunity to take it away from them. And then if you have priority, right, then you push as fast as you can, right? Get all the minions you can. So there you could get another wave. Unless you think Talon is like coming for you or something. I can't tell. Judging by what just happened. So going mid is, I think you can take another wave, right? If you ping your Maokai to stay and you say, help me take this wave, no one can stop you, right?
Yeah. I was just scared of someone showing up.
Yeah, but if you go by yourself, you probably can't do it because Talon shows up. But if you had your Maokai, he would W the Talon and then say it was Talon and Vayne, you have your flash for Gundam, etc., right? So you should be okay. So here, what's going on here? So one thing Twitch is very good at is taking away lane priority, right? And one of the obvious play is go in stealth, and then when they try and push the wave, you like hit them, right? So that is always an option that you can take, right? If you have if you see you have 5 people on your team and you can find a good engage, right? That's an indicator of a win, right? Theoretically speaking, if you have a good engage and it's 5v5, the team that got engaged on, if they have no answer, they're gonna lose, right? So this looks promising. Now you just have to make sure you don't get one shot by the enemy assassins. Okay, Talon's top, so you just go for this, right? You should be looking for a way to get this guy, right? What's going on here though? But if you don't, what's it called? Find it fast enough, Talon's just gonna push all the way to the tower. Okay, what's going on? So you turn around because you notice a fight's going on. This fight may or may not be possible. It's probably not gonna work, right? Probably impossible. Okay, never mind. Talon showed up, so maybe it's possible. Ooh, you should be okay. Oh, never mind. I lied.
Yeah, I barely lived.
This is fine, right? This is fine. Look, failed engage is a loss, right? They try and engage on you. They didn't kill you. It's a loss for them. As long as you don't die to Elise here. Okay, that's too early, I think, to come out, but it can work out. Okay, so your target was Sona here. This is just like team fighting stuff, I would say. Okay, so when you're fighting, you need a how do I put this? I think it's fine. We don't have to mention it here. But what I was gonna say is you need to ask yourself, do you have like enough HP to do this, right? At least Q is just gonna kill you. So I was like very worried for you here.
I was debating it.
Yeah. If you don't know for sure, without a doubt in your mind, like this looked really scary to me, right? But honestly, it's not. There's like bigger fish to fry. So this guy kills himself. That's nice. So here, you push out top. Okay. So one thing I noticed is that you know that big waves are good money, but what you need to do is push out the next wave, right? You need to push out as many waves as you can. If your team doesn't need you, right? Your team doesn't need you right now, so you should be pushing another wave because the wave is gonna be right here. It's gonna be like really close by, so you can like one thing I've noticed is that if you can get another wave, you should, like always, so you can get your items faster, so you can carry, right? Because right now in the last 10 seconds, what could you have done instead of running from top to wolves?
Cleared the wave.
Right. Okay. So one thing is you could have gotten the wave. What else?
Red buff.
Right. Red buff. Krugs. There are a lot of options here. And the less time that is like wasted, the faster you get stronger. Right. Does that make sense? So here,
Yeah.
you only got to get like wolves, and then no one got the top farm, so it's kind of like awkward. And now someone has to clear bot, but Heimerdinger's top. Right. Isn't Heimerdinger's job to be bot so he can TP to Baron, etc., etc. Here you get the red though. That's really good because red is super important. You come mid because it looks like there's a team fight about to break out. So one thing to note is always hold on to your Q unless you know you can come out and get an assist with it. This might be too early in my opinion, but it could be okay, right? Because the instant you use your Q, you put yourself on a timer, right? You have to come out of stealth and get an assist. Otherwise, you can't do anything for 16 seconds, right? So it's good that you come out on Talon here. Go back to stealth again. Sona still has ult, so it doesn't look like you can just turn around. Oh, this is awkward. This guy could be free. Sona still has ult though, so you're gonna yeah. I was gonna say so. Hold up. So in this fight, you still have no answer to Sona, right? So
Yeah.
unless she uses it, you can't come out of stealth like that. Because like imagine like Vayne is also waiting for you to come out. Okay, so this happens. Sona ults, she tumbles onto you, right, and then you die. So if you want to play the patient game like this, right, you want to wait for an opportunity to happen. Wait to away from her. Right, you need to be away from her unless you can like dodge it, right? Stay away from the Sona ult range. Otherwise, you're gonna get hit. So yeah, your team gets dove, whatever. I don't know what's going on here, but maybe you can clean up.
Yeah, I just felt pressured to do something.
right? Sometimes there are no options, right? I didn't see anything that you could do here, right? Maybe hit these guys, right? And then trade your ult for some HP advantage because Sona's gonna chase you with her ultimate, so you just walk away. But beyond that, you just wait, right? So the reason why you need to hold on to your Q is because your invisible is running out, and you put yourself on the timer, so it's kind of like awkward. Like here, right? After you get this assist, you don't have to use it yet. This is just all like team fighting stuff though. It's kind of a weird replay. I'm not gonna lie. The laning phase like didn't exist. You know
thanks,
what I'm saying? Dude, like you got like 2 assassins on the enemy team, and it's like the laning phase didn't exist, and a Vayne is in this game. You got Heimerdinger top. What's going on? It's kind of hard to like if this isn't like how your games and gold normally go. It's kind of hard to tell you what you can do better because sometimes this is just like sometimes kind of weird, right? So don't worry about those games. But what we have noticed is definitely don't take an option that doesn't exist, right? Fighting when someone has ultimate and you're gonna get hit and you can't do anything about it. Never take those options. And if you can push out another wave, push out another wave always, right?
Should I have just ran away back there?
Yeah, back at this fight, at this mid fight, you're just okay. Hold on, where is it? So here, right? You just walk back, right, and you let your Maokai turn, right, or you wait until Xerath lands an E, right? You don't always have to be the first guy in, right? When can you be the first guy in as Twitch?
If you have flash or QSS.
Yes, right. Do you have either of those items?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Or here's the third condition: if you're so strong you can like 3-shot someone before they can react, that could be another way to in, right? But none of those 3 options exist. So you can't take an option that doesn't exist, right? Otherwise, it's just a loss. So, and then you're just like they're just like diving. So it's like I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, this game is really fucking weird. I don't know what to say. Is this like average?
Yeah, kinda.
Interesting. So here you're like trying to. It looks like your team's trying to like wait for them to come check Baron. Okay, so Xerath stun got dodged. You need to go mid. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. But there could be a opportunity here for a play, right? Because you have flash.
Yeah.
So you should press Q here. Okay, good. You just killed that Talon and you're good to go. Maybe good to go. Okay, let's watch this. Can you kill this guy?
I don't want him to burst me, so I just waited.
Okay, true. That's true. Man, I don't know how this guy got away. Storm Raiders is strong, I guess. But if you decided that you could not get him, then you shouldn't open up, right? Because Xerath just gets one shot. I don't know. This replay kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit, that was fire right there. You can kill this guy too. Okay, yeah, good. This is a cleanup. And then you just dodge Elise Cocoon. Perfect. It was not. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was the good idea, the right idea, right? And then you just remember the Talon's nearby, so you can't fight this. That's good. That was good team fighting. It's just like for Twitch specific. Remember that your Q needs to get an assist, or you need to get something that's like really strong for your team, like getting 50% of the enemy's team's health, right? That's like good value for your Q. Because if you don't get the assist, you're like not being useful, right? And then don't use your ultimate unless you're gonna kill someone or like get something equal to a kill. So okay, another fight's bringing out.
Wait, quick question.
Yeah.
When I Q, they can only see me when they're in the little circle, right?
Yeah. Or if they have the pink ward, right? Okay. Or if they hit you and they see the camouflage.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on here?
I don't want to get hit by the Rumble ult, so I went downward.
That's good, right? That's good. You play around the things that are going to kill you. Okay, so here's the thought exercise. So this is true for every AD carry, but for Twitch especially. When you come out of stealth, what can kill you?
CC.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through all the things. Okay, so Rumble. What can kill you if you come out of stealth?
Rumble ult.
Right. Okay, so if you get hit by every one of Rumble's abilities, you're gonna die. Right. Rumble ult being the big one. Okay, now let's go to Elise. What do you get hit by? You die.
Cocoon.
Yes. Okay. Talon.
Um, I don't really know how his damage works, to be honest.
He just like walks up next to you and presses all his abilities. That's all you need to know for now, at least. Right. He just gets next to you and then hits you and then you die. Right. So
Is his burst from his W or his ult?
So he gets like 3 stacks from his damage abilities, and then he procs it with an auto attack. I think is how it works.
He has stacks.
Yeah. He has this like little triangle thing that pops up, and it's like
Oh,
Assassin's
I don't know
Creed or
what
some
that was.
shit. Yeah. That's like where it comes from. And then how about Vayne?
Condemn.
Or Vayne? Yeah, condemn and what?
Her tumble auto.
Yeah, she just kills you, right? Because if she goes invisible and tumbles on you, you have no options, right? You can't hit her when she's invisible, but she can hit you whenever she wants, right? So, Vayne can just like kill you, right? And then Sona. Obviously, it says your mic's muted, by the way.
Oh yeah.
What about Sona? This Sona's like the obvious one that we've been talking about.
Sona's ult.
Yeah. Okay, so when this fight breaks out, you can only come out of stealth when you have an answer for everything that's left, right? Or if you can hit someone and they're out of range, right? One of their win conditions, like Cocoon out of range, you can come out, right? Something like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So, if we watch this fight play out, so Sona ult is gone, Elise is like way far away, this Rumble is, Vayne's like doing some weird shit. So now if you hit Vayne, you win, right? So this is good. The only problem here is if you get condemned into that wall, right? But this is like, that was like basically all you need to do to win every game as Twitch. That was like really good. This is really good for team fighting, right? So, and then this stuff is going on. Oh no, chasing. He slowed you, so you're not gonna get him. Hold up, what's going on here? So, this is just one of those things where it's like you come out of stealth, you need to get assist. Otherwise, you're gonna be very sad because now you can't really do anything, right? Okay, can you kill anyone? Maybe Talon, maybe not. I wouldn't go for anything here because you can't see anyone. You have the back, right? So like, a lot of this is like just like random fighting mechanics. So with Twitch, it's just like, don't come out of stealth unless you know for sure, right? This is just kind of unlucky because he flashed, but you can throw a W as well. Or you can like hit someone who's hitting your team as well. But I don't know. This is like, how do you describe this? This is like a
gold.
Makes no sense, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Let's watch the other replay. How about that?
Okay.
I think this will be better because I don't know what I was watching with that other one. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like laning phase didn't exist. Okay, so is this the similar kind of story that's going on here? Like you get super strong, but you don't know how to convert that into a win.
Okay, this game, my team gets strong. I'm kind of just there. I'm doing okay, like in the middle.
Okay, so basically, we're gonna look at pretty much anything that comes to mind, right? So the last replay, what was like really important was, like if you can't see them, they're coming for you. Okay, that's the big one. And the second one is if you're like contesting an objective, you're trying to fight for it, and if you like have no answer to something, you can't fight, right? So here in this example, if you're level 2, can you stop the Alistar combo?
Yeah, I can.
Well, how can you stop Ali combo?
Spell shield.
It doesn't work.
Wait, it doesn't?
No, yeah. Spell shield doesn't work against the Alistar combo, right? Because when you see the headbutt animation, you press E, his headbutt does no damage, but then he Qs you, right? So you have no answer to Alistar combo. So these are the things that you need to think about in champ select, right? What about Tristana? If she jumps on you, what specifically do you want to spell shield? Do you want to spell shield the jump damage? Do you want to spell shield her bomb? What are you trying to spell shield, right?
Her bomb.
Okay, so how do you do that?
I wait until the 4th auto.
Yes, perfect, right? You wait until max stacks, and right before it blows up, press E, right? Don't worry about you don't try and use your E as it's going on to you. You use it as it's blowing up, right? So see, you know how to counter. You basically need to figure out how to counter what they're gonna do, right? Every time.
I,
Like we're like this applies to everything, right? Like you're trying to get lane priority mid as Twitch. How do you counter them going onto you as like Talon at least, etc., etc.? If you can't figure out a solution, you can't be there, right? And one like general rule is that if you have more people, you don't have to worry about it. Usually, unless they have like a Z or something insane, right? Unless they have some kind of like burst champion. If you have more people, you're gonna win. So okay, so here you're just going for pushing for level 2. You're hitting him for free. This is good, right? Throwing a Q out. You're gonna get level 2'd here if you're not careful. Kill this minion. Oh wow, they have an Eve. This is also a super troll game. Where they have.
I didn't expect that.
Okay, yeah, that's honestly I wouldn't fault you for it, but yeah, if they have an Eve, you have to know they're doing that, right? Okay, let's back it up. Okay, I did not know they had an Eve, but if they have an Eve, you can't like go for level 2, right? Why do I say that?
Well, that's true, right?
You muted, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Because she could just walk up behind me like that.
Well, okay. The real reason is because if Alistar walks up to you, right? You have to run away, right? Because if he combos you, you have to flash or you're dead, right? Assuming Eve is here, right? And they have an Eve. So if he walks up to you to combo, you have to walk away, right? So if you push and then they zone you away from the wave and you don't know where Eve is, you have to assume every time he combos you, he's going for a gank, right? Until you can see Eve. So you have to be like super scared when you have this is like a counter pick, right? They counter picked you, and then they also have like a super strong early game jungler. So you have to be careful of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So your Lulu dies. You get away with your life though. You're just trying to salvage the situation here. You have to be careful when you're tanking minion hits, but I think this is good, right? Because you're baiting them into taking a fight. When you have a gank coming, this Tristana is fucking dead. I don't know what she's doing. You can win this as well, right? You throw out this Q, and then you kill them all. Lulu's here, right? Lulu's here. Oh my god! Hold up. Oh, I guess she didn't have anything. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. Wait, did you spell shield anything?
No, I didn't.
It's
I don't quite know Eve's abilities because no one really plays her.
I think it's I wouldn't worry about this. Okay, so this is classified as like mechanics, right? Being able to fight and control your character. So using your spell shield, like saving it for like something else, like they're gonna throw at you, would be like mechanics, and we don't really worry about that too much unless it's like blatantly obvious your mechanics are like really bad at your level, and I think it's fine, right? I don't think there's a problem with your mechanics. But here we go. What's going on? What makes you decide to not push this wave?
I don't have any HP or mana.
Right, but okay. So say so you're afraid that if you don't push this fast enough, they're gonna come around and jump on you, right?
Yeah.
So and you think there's no counter to that, right?
Yeah.
What if you're like standing right here, right? And you still have your Lulu with exhaust, and you know Eve has no HP. So if she goes on you, you immediately spell shield and you hit her once, and then Lulu saves you, right? And then for Tristana, if she jumps over like that, you just walk along this line so she can't hit you, right? She has to chase under the tower to hit you. So if you can push, like basically, you need to be able to like push this basically, right? If you can, that is. I think you can, but it is a matter of like judgment, because what happens if you don't push it in?
They could freeze on me.
Yeah, exactly, right? They're just gonna like stack the huge wave like right outside the tower, and you're gonna be super like whatever this is, you lost the cannon wave, right? So sometimes it's unavoidable, but I think in that case, you could have pushed, maybe, right? I think it was possible. Like from my like instant, like my reaction was like, I don't know, I thought it was possible. But anyways, I digress. So what's going on is a 2v2, right? Okay, interesting. Okay, stop. Okay, so What is wrong with this sequence of events?
I missed my cue.
Okay, but that by itself is okay. But what do you do afterwards after you miss it?
Ali he missed his combo, and I didn't go in.
Well, you're trying to fight. After you miss an ability, you're trying to fight, right? Isn't that like isn't like missing an ability a sign of a loss, right? If it's an even fight, because the junglers show topside, doesn't that mean that if you miss your Q, they're just gonna go on you, right?
Yeah.
So every time you miss your Q, you can't walk up to the wave, right? So if you it's fine to go for this, but if you miss it, you can't fight. So you let them push you in. And then Lulu missed her shield, right? Her shield has 0 value. So you guys missed 2 abilities. It's like you need to figure out when you want to fight, right? So in an even fight, the side that lands more stuff wins, right? I'm like super mentioning this because it showed in your like first replay when you tried to fight when Sona had her ultimate, but you had no way to dodge it. This is the same thing. Alistar has like combo, you have no way to dodge it, and you missed abilities, so you definitely don't want to fight here, right? It's about like solo queue is about picking fights you can't lose, rather than turning really hard fights, right? Everyone always knows. Oh, look at this huge play. This guy turned like a 1v5. It looks super good, but the reality is, the way you like win the game is by taking like fights that are impossible to lose, right? So say you're twitching this bush and you bait them into fighting, you can't lose no matter what they do, right? So here you need to not take fights that are disadvantageous in any way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Right. So here he like missed combo somehow, but even though he missed combo, you still lost out on that trade, right? Because you can't do anything. So yeah, every time you need to think along those lines, especially in the even number situation. I have not seen like so many even numbered fights in a long time, right? In your replays, but if you like miss abilities in even numbers fight, you're gonna lose, right? So landing that Q is good, which meant that you could go in, right? You could maybe look to fight after you land that, right? As long as you don't get hit by alley combo or something like that. So why? Okay, back it up. Eve died. Okay, so tell me, are you in danger anytime soon?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
why?
did Eve die?
Eve
I
died,
don't know
but
where we're at.
she already respawned.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you're saying she can't get there in time, right? She can't get to bot lane in time, so you should be safe still.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it takes like 30 seconds.
Right, it takes like 30 seconds, and then maybe she wants to do camps and stuff, right? Who else is in this game that can show a bot?
TF.
Right, yeah, so if you see your Echo is level 5, that means TF is level 5. And if he's level 5, he's going to be level 6 soon. So you should be super afraid of that kind of like bot lane pressure. Like taking trades, even if it's good, is going to get you killed, right? Because if you trade and you do like really good trades like this, right? Say Tristana's at 1 HP and you're at half your health. Usually that's a really good trade, right? But in this case, they have more people than you. So you need to stay as healthy as possible, right? Whenever the other team has more people, you need to stay as healthy as possible. Like, for example, if you're getting dove in a tower dive, the way you win a tower dive is if you have like maximum amount of HP and you have flash, right? That's how you outplay a tower dive. This is kind of similar.
This game.
Hey, say again?
I actually get tower dove this game.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
See it.
the way to win a dive is the opposite. You trade away all your HP, and then the divers just hit them once, and then you win, right? So the side that has less people needs more HP, basically, right? So here, I know that you're at risk of dying because you have no flash, you have no HP, and it's like 4v2 because TF is just going to ult bot, and you can't do anything, right? So how do you stop that?
Just stay back.
Well, like if you stay back like this, they're just going to freeze on you, right?
I could just shove the wave, I guess.
Yes, right. If you have the opportunity to instantly push it, you do it, right? And then you leave your lane, you go ward, or you stay under your tower, or you take grunt, you do something. But you can't like basically that's exactly what you do, and you don't trade, right? You need to stay healthy. So you clear the wave as fast as you can, and then you stay healthy, right? So if Chisana tries to walk up to you and trade, you walk away, you run. You don't take any kind of trades. If you think you're about to get like outnumbered, which you are, right? You can already tell before it happens, right? And this is so basically what we're trying to like teach today, I guess, is how to recognize these situations before they happen, right? So if I had told you in game that yo, this shit is coming in 10 seconds, and I said push and run, then you would have pushed and ran, and then you can't get ganked, right? So if you can recognize that something like this is going to happen during the game, right? You train yourself over and over again, you will never get caught by something like this unless you're like brain fire or something, you're playing tired or whatever. So the way you recognize these situations is look at the map, right? I always teach this to everyone. Every single, like the last 10 people have asked for coaching. It's the same thing. Look at the map. How many people can be here? If they have more people, you need to play safe, right? You need to take the option that does not include trading and fighting. Because say for example, you traded really well, but now you can't check dragon because you have no HP. So they start dragon because you have no vision, right? So it's still a bad outcome. But if you have full HP, right, you can maybe check dragon and they engage on you and you get away, right? Because you have enough HP, for example. So anytime you have less people than them, right? Anytime you have less people than them, you need to play like they're coming to you, right? So you push as fast as you can and you run. And the fastest way to figure out if they have more people than you is look at your team, right? What is your team doing? If your team is doing something on the other side of the map, you have no you do not have enough people, like 9 times out of 10, right? So your team is doing 2 people top. That means they're gonna send 2 people bot, right? It's like equal exchange or whatever. Have you seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, equal exchange, whatever. Whatever that rule is, like if your team sends X amount of people top, X amount of people on the enemy team can go somewhere else if they don't fight it, right? So yeah, you have to be very scared of that at all times, right? And an indicator of like you're gonna lose a fight, like a gank, a numbers advantage kind of thing, is the HP you have, right? Like we discussed, and if you have flash or not, right? So HP, flash, and like if the enemy hits their CC, that's how you die, right? Those 3 things, a mix of those 3 things, you can like. Knowing those 3 pieces of information will tell you whether or not you can escape a gank, right? So say if you had flash and ally tried to combo you and you flash it, you can't die, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, right? So these are just things you have to like think through, like before the game, right? During champ select, ask yourself, if Eve ganks, how do I get away from the gank, right? Like Alistar combo, right, is gonna kill me. Tristana Insect is gonna kill me. You probably don't see that ever. I don't see that ever, but it's possible. It's possible, right? Tristana does some WR flash shit, whatever. It's possible to die from that if you don't spell shoot it in time. This is good though, right? Pushing this out is exactly what I said earlier. Except that in this case, the enemy is not here to stop you. So in the previous case I was talking about, you want to push it as fast as possible, and then if they chase you while you're pushing it, you leave, right? You run, because you're still 4 HP at that point. But under no circumstances do you take trades when they have more people than you, right? So here, gonna go get wards. This is good. Interesting. These are fine, I would say. The fact that you went to get wards is good. So I think TF still has his ultimate, right? I don't know, but I think he still has his ultimate. So your game plan has not changed, right? Okay, actually, yeah. Tell me what do you think your game plan should be in this lane?
Just shove the wave.
Yeah. Just like shove and run, right? Shove as fast as possible, and then leave, right? And then if you have your jungler nearby and your echo is ready to TP, then you can maybe bait a gank by knowing that if you shove and they try and stop you, you can kite them out, right? So what is going on here? Okay, fight breaks out. You go immediately. This is good. You're gonna win this because you have more people than them. Because Tristana's on the wrong side. So this is really good. So the fact like you always go help immediately, and that's like really good because a lot of players don't do that. I think like your biggest problem is like knowing when you want to fight and when you don't want to fight, right? Because sometimes it'll work out, right? In the team fights, I see you like that Twitch team fight that where you like double kill the enemy bot lane, like the Vayne and Sona in the river bush. That was like beautiful, right? They had no counterplay. But when it comes to these kinds of like small fights where it's like 2v3, 2v2, I think you have some kind of I think you need to work on those areas, right? Knowing whether or not you want to fight, right?
Skirmishes.
Yeah, skirmishes. This is very like this is good, right? You know you want to fight because you have Twitch, but the opposite is also true. When you don't, when they have a jungler, you need to like not fight, right? So you know how to like aggress and like help your team, but you need to prevent situations where you find yourself like being impossible to win. Like this is good, right? This is really good. Like your only problem from what I've seen, like your only biggest problem is figuring out whether or not they have more people than you and playing accordingly, right? Does that sound accurate, or am I like
Yeah, it does.
crazy here?
Sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, so this is good. Like after you get an advantage, you hit the tower, right? This is good unless this TF is coming, right? Eve's top, so it's just TF and Alistar, you can't lose. So you just like hit this, you just push the next wave and back. Okay. One thing we're gonna throw in a secondary thing for you to work on. Always push the next wave if you can, right? Because this is another 7 minions you can get, right? Push this and you back. Always push and back. Always push and back. Or always push if you can, I guess, is the motto, right? You're playing Sivir. You can one shot this wave and then back, right? Isn't the money worth it? Because if you don't push it, he's gonna push it, right? So you didn't push it, so they pushed it, and now you're stuck clearing whatever this is, right? Instead of this being like 14 minions, it could have been 7 instead. So it always matters basically. And if you push before you back, you can spend that money too. Maybe buy boots, maybe buy extra wards, whatever. Okay, so your team is missing. I mean, the enemy bot lane is missing. You have to be afraid that they're in this bush. This Lulu is crazy. Your team doesn't want to fight mid, so you should ping them back, right? So they're gonna die mid because they have less people, right? That's like, see, it's all about like recognizing who wins what fight, right? Like I called out your mid was gonna die before it happened because the enemy is just all missing, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So all you have to do is now apply the same thing to your side of the map, right? Always to your side of the map. So this here, right here, can you hit this tower?
Just a few more autos.
Right, but is it worth, getting like how many more autos, right? Exactly how many? When are you gonna back out, right? Is it worth getting the tower damage for like is it worth risking your life for tower damage? Basically, this is like min maxing, right? You're like, I can get a few more autos and get away. It could be true. It is true to a certain extent, but at what point are you gonna get shafted for trying to do something like that? So you should always be scared when you don't have enough people, right? So Eve could be here, you gotta be scared. TF can ult, you gotta be scared, right? Okay, so Eve's like messing with Twitch. I think he died too fast for you to help, right? So you didn't go help. Okay, so you guys get dove. So indicator of getting dove is what? What are the 3 things we mentioned?
HP.
HP. What else?
Cooldowns.
Yeah, flash specifically. Cooldowns, yes. Flash specifically, and then the third one is
The wave.
I think the third one we mentioned was, do they land their CC or not, right? Do they land their stuff or not, right? So if you get hit by ally combo under tower, you can't win. But you couldn't win anyways because they had 5 people. So that's kind of awkward. But yeah, if you don't have enough HP, you can't stay, right? So this is also a recurring theme. This happened when you played Twitch as well, right? Trying to stay when you can't actually defend. The indicators that'll tell you whether or not you can defend are what we just said, right? HP, like numbers advantage, HP, flash, and then do they land their stuff, right? So this is very much like if you can like fix this, right? This one thing, I think you'll see like results immediately, right? So like here, you would know not to fight here. Why?
Oh, because I don't have vision on them.
Well,
there's only 2 of us.
Remember the first thing is you count how many people. So who's missing from this fight?
Top laner and the jungler.
Right. So this is a 3v5, right? So first thing you do whenever you want to do something, whenever you want to push a wave, whenever you want to like do an objective, whenever you want to do anything, you ask yourself how many people are here on this side of the map, right? So this is a 3v5. You know this is not going to go well no matter what you do. No matter what you do. The best you can do is like randomly crit this blue buff and steal it at the risk of your life, right? At the risk of throwing the game, right? So probably not worth. So yeah, you guys somehow are pushing them off, but it's like taking fights that you can't win is like how you throw games, if that makes any sense, right? So always always take an unfair fight, right? Always take fights that are like disgustingly in your favor, right? If you ever watch okay, this could be good because you blew someone up. Yorick is like splitting top. Okay, what I was gonna say is, do you watch anime? Do you watch a lot of anime?
Yeah, I watch anime, you know, like K-dramas too.
Have you seen No Game No Life?
Oh yeah, I love that show.
These guys are like, yo, they know they're gonna win, which is why they're like so confident, right? You need to know you're gonna win without a doubt in your mind, right? You have this plan set up, and your opponent has no chance, right? Every time their opponent has no chance, right? That's what we're trying to set up here. Is every time you fight, they have no chance, right? So this is kind of like a random fight. I don't know what this was, but I don't think you guys should have fought this because Yorick is top, right? That is Yorick, right? Yeah, Yorick is top. So the only reason you guys win this is because like they kill themselves, right? Eve just like sat in Echo stun or something. I don't know. Alistair was not here as well, but that could have been really spooky. So yeah, coming here is good. This is good, right? After you get an advantage, go do something, right? So pushing mid may be questionable, but hey, pushing bot is good, right? So this is good. You take the tower, you push another wave, and you back, right? Good. I like it. Yeah, you basically, that's honestly your biggest problem is before you want to do anything is you need to figure out how many people are on your side of the map, right? So yeah, this is questionable because you don't have your teammates. Wow, that was nice. I don't know why your team's fighting here. Okay, no, they see 2 people bot, which is why. Okay, that's why. You guys have more people than them. Okay, that's good. Eve pops out. It's kind of spooky. Wow, okay, that was really good. Right, look, your mechanics are not in question. Look, you're just like, your mechanics are really good, right? They're at least like passable. And that's like the worst case scenario. It's either good or like really good, right? So your problem is not like your ability to fight. Your problem is like picking fights that are like not so good, right? So you always want to take fights that are really strong. So one thing we mentioned today was, you know, if you know that they have more people than you on this side of the map, what do you do? How do you play safe? You shove and run. Or if you can't even shove, you just play safe, right? You get vision first, so you know for sure if they're down here or not, etc., etc. So here, you're pushing mid. You can't actually push mid, so that's fine. You can like dump a ward. If not, that's okay too. You go back. I think people on your team are just like getting caught or something. I don't know what's going on. But this is an even fight unless TF gets here fast enough, in which case it's 4v5. So you don't want to fight this. That's awkward. Someone got one shot. Riven is doing a solo play though, so you're just helping this out. So here, I think it's okay to push this, right? If you guys can just keep going to the inhibitor. Holy smokes, what's going on? Wow, okay, nice kill. I didn't know if you could get that. This is good because you're stalling out the enemy team. Your team's gonna get mid tower, right? So as long as this doesn't like give them Baron, you guys are in the winning here, right? You guys gave up 2 kills for a kill and 2 towers, right? So that's good. This is a good trade. That was good split pushing. But yeah, yo, any questions? I don't know if you've had like questions so far or something. Anything you want to mention?
No, I'm good. I'm just taking notes right now.
Okay. Yeah, this is like it's non-stop fighting. Like, what's going on? Okay.
I could rewatch this later, right?
Yeah. Yorick, like, what is like Yorick is soloing dragon? What the hell is going on? What am I watching? Okay, you can win this because they're all stuck in the pit, and even though Yorick died immediately, he burned their cooldowns, right? So you can win that. Okay, hold up. What's going on? Let's watch this. Okay, so you should fight this. Yes or no? Assuming Riven has no
No,
TP. Why is that?
because there's 4 of them.
How many people do you have?
2.
Hold on. Can you see the minimap from the Skype call?
Yeah, I can see part of it.
Okay, so on your side, you have 5 people, right?
Well, Yorick's dead.
Okay, yeah, this is true, right? Someone died early, but they got enough value out of the enemy cooldowns that they still count as part of the fight, right? Because what they used like Tristana E on him, and then they wasted whatever all this mana was, right? They used a bunch of cooldowns and stuff, right? So even though Yorick died, he was still relevant to this fight. This is still a 5v4, right? Say here's a classic example. Okay, so say Malphite is farming top by himself, right? And 4 of his teammates are mid, and the enemy team goes as 5 and they go gank Malphite, right? And they take like a long time to kill him. And right before he dies, he ults all of them. So your team comes in. Do you think it's a 45 still?
No.
Right? Because Malphite had some value, right? In this case, it's like
Yeah.
obvious because Malphite ulted everyone. But he had enough value to say he was like worth a person in the fight, right? So this Yorick is not if they don't get one shot. And what I mean by one shot is they hit by Luxbind and ulted, or they get like Annie Tibbard, right? Or like Xerath blows someone up, or Talon blows someone up. If that does not happen, right, they're absorbing cooldowns and abilities, right? So this is a 4v5 in your favor. So you should take a fight like this, right? A fight like this will give you Baron, right? As long as no one on your team like insta throws, like in this case, I don't even like it'd be really hard to insta throw this, but maybe Lulu gets hit by everything. Then you're gonna win that fight 100%, right? As long as that Riven did not have TP, you're gonna win that fight. So look to like take fights, like I said earlier, look to take fights that you win. Like 5v4, this is an indicator of a win, right? So you might ask, how do I fight this? You basically stall for time because the longer the fight is, the better it is for 5v4, right? And then you just hit the closest guy, they chase you, run away, and you come back when they try and run away. Boom. And then you pop your ult, and then they have nowhere to go, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
If it wasn't like Sivir specific, like it could be, I don't know, you're playing Kog'Maw, you throw your E down so they can't run away. You're playing Twitch, so you throw a W, or you come out of stealth and you start hitting them and you kite back because they think they need to kill you since you ulted, etc., etc. It could be any champion. But the point is that you want to engage in these, like when you have a man advantage, you want to engage. And as long as the engage isn't suicidal, you're gonna win, right? As long as the engage isn't suicidal, you're gonna win. Okay, so this Twitch gets one shot. Alistar is here too. Okay, this is gonna be bad because you have no teammates, right? So along the same lines of thinking. So in this case, if someone gets one shot, they don't count as a person, right? So this is a 4v5 on this side of the map because Twitch got one shot, for example, right? This would be a good example of someone getting one shot. Yeah, these replays are interesting because last game there was a lot of that too, like Talon and whatever. But yeah, so you tried to take a fight that was 4v5 on this side of the map. It's not possible to win, so they get Baron, right? It all comes back to the same thing. So it's not like you have 20 different things you need to work on. It's just like this one main thing will help fix all like the others. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. It really is. That it really is what League boils down to, like the basic fundamentals of the game, right? Take only fights that are super in your favor, right? Like these are all things that people at any rank work on, right? Like I work on this at my rank, right? So it's not
What
like
are the fundamentals?
so it's all like the basics are like if you ask 20 different players, you get 20 different answers. But something that I always look at is laning, right? Can you win lane and apply pressure? Like vision control, right? Those are all like basic fundamentals. Lane priority, taking fights that you can't lose, right? Taking fights where you have a massive advantage, right? Playing safe in team fights, only making plays when you're 100% sure, otherwise you play it safe, right? Those are what I consider to be like the basics that I always work on, right? Stuff like that. And then other things you can do are like mechanics, right? Predict what the enemy is going to do and then play accordingly, right? So a bronze player might have to think, yo, if Malphite ults me, what do I do? Right? That would be his kind of how do I counter the enemy? And then like a challenger player could be something like, okay, if Talon's getting that third hit on his passive, how do I stop that? Right? It's the same principle, just like different levels of like specifics, right? So failed engage is a win. You guys are gonna win this, I think. I hope you guys
we
win this.
lose.
No way. It took so
No,
much
we
damage.
lose.
No,
I thought we
say
were
it
gonna
ain't
win
so.
that, to be honest.
Say it ain't so. Not like this. It looked good.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. So it was a nice try by you guys. I think Echo fucked up his ear or something. Wait, what's going on?
I think he ulted back.
Something happened. It was close, honestly, right? I think it was close. So this is not something you need to worry about. It's all this stuff that happened beforehand, right? When you look at replays and you see stuff like that, it's like you have bigger fish to fry, right? So that was like a good fight to take because they had a failed engage, but somehow they had like too much money. Like at that point, I would assume that they won because of like they had so much more money than you guys, right? It should have been good, but the gold advantage was too much. So what's going on here? Alistar gets baited into comboing. Wow, this is kind of scary because they could go over the wall, but I guess it's okay. At this point, you're just like praying that they throw, right? So a lot of the early mid-game stuff is the man advantage I talked about. When it gets to like later in the game, it's more about the team fighting stuff. And I think so far from what I've seen, you're pretty decent at it, right? Especially with the Twitch clips. So I don't think there's too much to cover about that. It's basically, if they do this, what do I do, right? Yeah, Tristan is trying to hit the tower. This kind of feels bad, tower defense, right? But like the times where you could have like saved the game were kind of thrown when you went for fights that were like impossible, right? 4v5s, 2v3s, whatever. So I think that the biggest takeaway from this session was before anything happens, right? Before like you defend the tower, before you hit a tower, before you like join a fight, whatever, you need to figure out how many people are on this side of the map. And if you can't see the enemy, you always assume they're all there, right? You always assume they're all there. And you only take fights where you know you have more people. That's what I want you to work on, right? Only take fights where if you have more people, I want you to be bold, okay? I want you to go out there and hit people, because if they hit back, you're gonna win, right? Unless they like hit you with like a sledgehammer or something, you're gonna win. So
Okay.
I promise you, right? Even if you die, as long as you don't get one shot, your team will clean up, right? Your team will absolutely clean. If 5v4 you end up dying, it doesn't matter. If you did like enough for one person's, if you were like worth one person, unless your team DCs or something, you're gonna win that fight, right? Only take fights that are like clear winners. You have more people than them. And I think the secondary thing that you should work on is the whole like push first and then go do something, right? So there are a lot of times when I would say, yo, get another wave. Basically, if you can look to push out another wave, you should always do it, right? Unless it's like you don't go bot though. If you don't like push bot when Baron is up, that's like dumb. But in general, if you can push another wave for free, you should go do it, right? And that'll net you like the money you need to carry, for example. But beyond that, I think those are like the two biggest things that you should work on. What do you think?
Sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah. Oh, and if it's even, right? If the fight is even, like sometimes you're forced to fight these even fights. It happen a lot of times. How do you know whether or not you want to fight? It's mostly based on who lands more stuff, right? So like you missed the boomerang bot and you tried to hit Alistar, that was like a no-go. You don't want to do that. But when I think there was we're trying to find an example where the enemy missed and you want to go in. But basically, you only want to go in when they miss, right? When they miss first. Like for example, you miss your boomerang, they can go in. If they use Tristana E on a minion or some shit, and then they waste it, you can go in, right? Those are indicators in an even fight, right? 2v2, because if it's 2v3, they're baiting you, right? 2v2 or 3v3, 5v5, whatever. If they miss, that's your cue to go in, right? You have an advantage. And if you miss, that's your cue to not go in because you're gonna die. So those are like what I would prioritize. Like in your next 10 games, I want you to think that every time something happens, ask yourself, is this a fight I want? That's the only question you need to ask. Is this a fight I want? You count the people. Is this a fight I want? No. Okay, don't fight. Right? Is this a fight I want? Yes. Okay, let's just go. Let's go. If you don't get one shot, you're good to go. Right? So that's how I want you to think in these like next 10, 20 games. Right? Your mechanics, don't worry about it. It's good. Right? It's good enough. Don't worry about like CSing. That was also good. Right? From what I could tell, it was fine. It's more about like figuring out whether or not you wanted to fight, because there were a lot of times when you kind of ulted into them and it was like 2v4, right? And it was just like you should run. So I think that's like, if you can fix that, I think that'll help you the most.
If my team takes an unfair fight, should I just run away?
Yes, spam back ping. You cannot win, right? The only way. Okay, so this brings up another point. You bring up a good point, right? Yo, what if my team is like retarded and they take a bad fight, right? Because it'll happen every solo queue game. Because if it's not your team taking a bad fight, it's the enemy team taking a bad fight. So how do you win an unfair fight, right? So if a team is running away because it's 3v4, kiting is an advantage, right? Because the team that is chasing doesn't know when the skill shot is going to be thrown at them. Like say, for example, you're chasing an Elise, right? If we play a 1v1 custom match and we meet in mid lane, right? And I'm playing Elise, right? And I say, chase me to the fountain. I'm going to throw a cocoon at you. You have to flash it. Do you know when I'm going to throw that cocoon?
Not really.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea, so it's going to be super hard. And then what happens if I like run into a bush and you're like, what the hell? How am I supposed to dodge that? So the team that is chasing has a disadvantage. So if they chase hard enough, maybe you can like make that disadvantage worth one person, right? So if your team starts a bad fight, spam back ping and then kite with them and see if you can find that kind of turning point where they chase too hard. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but the spam back ping is the most important part because your team will kill themselves if you don't spam back ping. And it's a good exercise in figuring out if like you should fight or not, right? Because if you're studying how to figure out if you want to fight, it's also like studying if your team wants to fight on that side of the map, right? So if you say, oh, the enemy bot lane is missing, you back ping your mid laner. It's good practice because then you'll notice, oh, if the enemy mid laner is missing, I should backping myself, right? And then so on and so forth. So, any last questions?
Do you think both games are winnable?
Yes, for sure, right? So if we talked about the impact a player has on a game, right? So let's say every time you went for like a bad fight, it was like you lost an objective, right? So every time you went for a bad fight, let's say you lost the dragon. How many bad fights would you need to lose for you to lose the game by yourself?
Let's see.
Only a
7.
couple, right? 7? Holy dude, 7. Dude, if you throw 7 times in a game and you win, send me that replay, dude. I would love to watch because that would have been some hardcore backpacking by your team. But basically, in League, all it takes is like 1 or 2 throws and it's over, right? All it takes is one bad fight mid and the enemy gets Baron and you're really hard pressed to win, right? So you can like extend that. Like earlier today, I lost a game in lane where I made a bad decision. I tried to take a 2v3 and we lost. We lost bot lane, we lost jungle, we lost dragon, and then gank mid, we lost mid, and we lost the game, right? So one mistake is all it takes, right? One throw is all it takes. So that's why this is like one of the most important fundamentals to work on, because these kind of like taking these fights are like mini throws, right? Taking bad fights are mini throws, and taking good fights are like swing for your team, right? You're winning when you take these fights. So that's why it's like super important to like stress this kind of map awareness, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions?
I had one, but I just forgot it.
No. Well, I mean,
God.
if you do have them, feel free to shoot me up on Discord. I'm always online. I'm down to answer. Right. You ever have like 30-second clips and you're like, okay, is this like a good fight? I'll be able to respond really quick. So, do not hesitate to use me as a resource. I'm always here for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. But yeah, this will go up on YouTube. I'm sorry that it seemed like these replays were kind of monkey, cause I don't know. Yeah, like, what is this like Maokai support shit? Like, do you see that often?
Occasionally.
Oh,
He was pretty nice
God.
though. It was fine.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's kind of like hard to figure out what's going on in some of these games, but I hope you did, get some value out of this review. So
Yeah.
yeah, let me know how things go. And good luck in your next few games. Yeah, if you ever remember that question or questions, feel free to hit me up.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, my dude.
Okay, you too.